So, Crook, what did you first think about the whole Funk Volume challenge when you first heard it?
I thought it was I like Dame. Dame, I believe, is the CEO, right? Funk Volume.
I think so.
I like Dame. He always makes innovative moves. I mean, for his label, he's an intellectual guy. So I like him, man. I think all the moves that he made were dope up until that move right there. You know what I'm saying? When he was like, yo, when Hobson was speaking on, trying to challenge good music, strange music,
TDE.
TDE, Slaughterhouse, Shady. It just, to me, that move was like, we know that we probably won't get any responses. So, let's just throw it out there. And, our fan base will eat it up. Being Funk Volume's fan base, they'll definitely eat that challenge up. So I just didn't think they were prepared for anybody to say, well, hey, man, fuck the money. Let's go right now. You know what I'm saying? And I think that right there kind of caught them off guard. You know what I mean? That's the reason why it probably took a while for them to even respond.
Okay.
But like I said, I like Dame, man. He's made some dope moves. I talk to Dame, often. And I've always thought that he made great moves up until that one.
Okay. So, what did you think about the way Horseshoe Gang responded?
Well, I think they did it appropriately because it was like, somebody calls in and they say, well, hey, we come up here with Crooked and the Horseshoe Gang on Sway, because he issued the challenge live on Sway.
Right.
So, and they're like, anybody can get it. Anybody can get it. All right, cool. Well, if anybody can get it, let's go. This is what we do. We grew up in a household of machines when it come to the bars. Output ain't nothing. I mean, I did Hip Hop Weekly. They did Mixtape Monthly. So, the output and the bars and the machine aspect of rap, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, hell yeah, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, especially when, I felt comfortable because, I know Hobson, I know Dame, I really don't know Dizzy. I think I've talked to Jaron one time. Cool guys. But, when you lay down the challenge, you got to be ready to step into the gladiators arena. You know what I'm saying? So it was, I think it was a good thing. You know what I mean? I like the way they came, $500,000. They changed the topic a little bit because everything was on, money and views. And that was a little disheartening when it comes to Funk Volume because they never been about that in my eyesight as a fan of what they do.
Yeah.
They weren't about money and views. And all of a sudden it's becoming about money and views. You know what I'm saying? So it's like $500,000 is like, look, man, we artists on the come up. We hungry. Right. We out here. You know what I mean? Let's just do it. You know what I mean? So I liked it, man. I think it was a good ordeal for the gang. I think they showed a lot of people who didn't know that they got a lot of bars and they could challenge anybody in the game.
What did you think about the Funk Volume response?
I thought it was pretty cool. It was all right, man. I mean, bar for bar, there's no way they can out-rap my guys. But, because we get technical. We talk about the cadence, metaphors, punchlines, rhyme schemes, flow patterns. Like, we get technical into the whole, writing of a rap song. So when you listen and you hear people are falling off here or not, very strong in this department or whatever, then you say, okay. They took some dope shots. They said some things that was kind of funny, and that's cool. I respect them for stepping to the plate. Even though it took a while, I respect them for stepping to the plate. You know what I mean? And I really wanted to see it go further. I wanted to see more bars get exchanged. Because to me, I was just in a barbershop in Long Beach, and one of the barbers was like, "Yo, this is one of the best bar beefs in a while because it's real bars being spit across from both sides. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they were just hyped up in the barbershop like, yo, that shit was more entertaining to us because a lot of people still listen for bars. And I wanted it to go even further. I wanted them to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, y'all drop the song. They drop the song on the same day. Y'all drop another song. We go cover another song. Let's keep this shit going. You know what I mean? But after seeing what Hobson was tweeting and, the things that he tweeted, it made me feel like, you know what? He's ready to just
It's over?
Yeah, he's ready to be like, I think, I ain't gonna say that it was a definite white flag, but it was like, yo, you know what? No matter who won, Horseshoe Gang is dope. Crook is one of my favorite artists of all time. Follow them dudes, and then it was like, how could you don't want to make a punching bag out of somebody being so fucking nice, a verbal punching bag, you know what I'm saying? He's being too fucking nice about the whole shit. It's like, you know what? All right, man. Salute, man. Anytime y'all want it, come back. Come get some more.
Do you think hip hop is too friendly these days?
Hip hop is very much so too friendly. But the problem with it is that we so close to the streets, and a lot of us are on the streets. And, once you bring the streets into the hip hop shit, then you have people being too overly sensitive because they're like, okay, where is this gonna go? Is this gonna spill over into the streets, or is this gonna stay some hip hop competitive shit? If everything stayed hip hop competitive and off the streets, it would be better for the art form.
Yeah.
It would be better for the art because we need competition with each other. And I should be able to speak my mind. If I'm in a barbershop, it should be no different from me being on Vlad TV. I should be able to be 100, speak my mind at all times. And I'm saying that as an artist. All these artists, they're scared to speak their minds. They won't because they want to. I'm going to burn a relationship. Some executive is going to hear about it, is not going to like it. Some of my sponsors might listen to this and say, I don't want to sponsor this guy anymore. It's just so many things. And it's like, dog, why can't we have an open dialogue about who we think is whack and who we think is dope, or what song we think is trash? You know what I'm saying? You just can't. I mean, it's sad, man. It's too sensitive, bro.
Yeah, it was some words said about Pac on the box before about who is these dudes claiming thugs and all of that. You know what I'm saying? You know how he was, a little hot-headed, and then, but once we all seen each other and face to face with it got squashed real quick.
Dre went to another level after that. And then went to another level after that. Dre is probably the only artist in the history of hip hop who has evolved from iconic level to iconic level to iconic level. When you talk about icons, when you say it's levels to this shit, it's levels to this icon shit.